Miguel Dorati back here at the IBOP Vaults, and we're going to get into UFC 191. UFC 191 scheduled for September 5th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Headlined by the flyweight title fight between Demetrious Johnson and John Dodson, a little rematch there. We're going to get into the odds for the main card. That's the next UFC on the calendar. And what we have with the 5-round main event, you got Demetrious Johnson, longtime champion, is a favorite at -450. John Dodson plus 360. Big underdog there relatively. The over-under on the 5-rounders at 4.5, with the over paying -200 and the under at plus 170. Dodson, a very exciting fighter. Actually, you know, a real true lightweight, flyweight fight here with very little guys. And Demetrious Johnson's already defeated Dodson. I'm not sure Dodson stepped his game up enough because Demetrious has just been fighting out of this world. Getting into the heavyweights here, you got Frank Mir facing Andrei Arlovski, actually a battle of two UFC ex-champions in the heavyweight division. Arlovski's the favorite at -175. He's been fighting real well since returning to the UFC. Mir coming off a big win as well at plus 155. Mir still, you know, kind of rebounding still from a long losing streak there. The over-under is 1.5, with the over at plus 135 and the under at -155. In the light heavyweight division, you got Anthony Johnson bouncing back at -470 against Jimmy Manuwa, plus 375. Over-under there is 1.5, with the over at plus 135 and the under at -155. Both guys have lost a couple of fights in a row. You got Manuwa. You know, I don't have high expectations for Manuwa. I think that Johnson is, you know, one of the elite guys. He proves himself in the last few years, so I think that Johnson's the one who's going to win this fight and move, you know, back into title contention, so to speak. Also, at light heavyweight, this comes on the undercard, but the odds are up at the books already, and you got Corey Anderson at plus 130 facing John Blachowicz, who's at -150. The over-under is 2.5, with the over at -155 and the under at plus 135. And the last main card bout that'll be on the pay-per-view is in the strawweight women's division. You got Alexander Chambers at plus 1,000 facing Paige Van Zant, obviously the hot name Paige, at -1,500. Big, you know, wide line there. Over-under is 2.5 for the 3-rounder, and they're both paying back at -110 right now, over and under. So that's the main card for UFC 191. Actually, I expect this to be one of the lower selling UFCs. I don't think Mir's big enough name. Arlovski, it's a good fight, but I don't know if it's enough for people to plop down that kind of money. And Demetrious Johnson has traditionally been one of the worst draws, you know, among the champions, even though he is the most high-skilled one. Let's see if UFC 191 bucks the trend. If not, this is a down UFC, and we'll talk to you after the fights.